Hey, what's up? Dilio coming to another video. And before we begin, I want to let you know that I do have an album out. If you want to hear some original music that I do, just go to Apple Music, Spotify, listen to The Mess album by yours truly, Dilio. It's my latest album, and that was recorded using a DAW, which goes to my topic of what this video is, how to record, or basically why are all DAWs are the same. So, to talk about DAWs, we have to talk about a few things of what a DAW is. So a DAW stands for Digital Audio Workstation. And what is a digital audio workstation? Well, a digital audio workstation is the place where we combine vocals with beats, drums with guitars, bass guitars with ukuleles and pianos. This is the pot where we mix sounds together. This is where we take different drum sounds and manipulate them, or we take voices and put auto-tune on them, or dub vocals, or record a choir, or record a trumpet or a saxophone. This is a piece of software that enables you to combine different sounds. And the best way to explain that is basically like, imagine a tape recorder. Like I think my audience isn't too young where they don't know what tape recorders are. And the thing is with tape recorders is that you can combine different tracks. So, you know, if you take a basic tape recorder, you got one stereo track right there, or one mono track on that tape. Well, what they used to do back in the day is they used to have these 2-inch tape reels, and they had about like 12 to 24 tracks on them, and you could record audio tape on those 24 tracks. The power of this is that it enables one person to record harmonies, or to record a whole band section over here. A guitar has a channel, a bass guitar has a channel, a pianist has a channel, the lead vocalist gets a channel, the background vocals all get their own channels, and you combine these different channels, like my fingers are the channels. You combine all these channels to create one audio recording. So what will happen is you would take all these channels, and then you would have a mixer, a physical mixer, and you would take all these channels and mix them together on a mixer, and then record the result to another tape recorder that just recorded the stereo output of that. Well, in 2022, a lot of that, or if not all of that, is digitized, unless you just want the experience of working with analog gear, which is probably fun, but it's more time consuming and more complicated. But the advent of the DAW makes it so we can all have that in our homes. You know, this is how I'm able to record multi-tracks now. If I didn't have that, I probably would have a standalone digital recording station where I would multi-track like that, but I'd like my studio one. And that's the thing. So when we talk about digital audio workstations, we're talking about Logic, FL Studio, Studio One, Pro Tool. You got them Pro Tools with the iLock. Thank you guys for letting me know in the comments about the iLock. Pro Tools, Digital Studio One, Logic, Ableton, Reaper. There's all kinds. Cakewalk, Sonar, Logic. I mean, it just goes on and on. There's probably some I don't even know about. Cubase, Steinberg Cubase. There's so many different plugins that you can use. There's so many pieces of software they use that does the same thing. And the reason why you need one is that you need a place to put all this stuff, to put your ideas down. You need a place to record your vocals. You need a place to take what you're playing and record it and put it on tape. I mean, how do you share it on the internet? How do you put it on your TikTok video? How do you put it on a YouTube video? You gotta have a place to combine all these sounds together so that you can mix them and make them sound good. And that's a whole nother level on how to mix stuff together. It's very difficult to even make a video about how to mix things together, because there are so many, and I hate that, because I know a lot of times if I'm looking for information on here, I want to search that topic. How do I get this result with what I have? But things are so much more complicated than that. It's a scene by scene basis, and it takes experience to analyze what's going on to make the best decision per that situation. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner you are able to understand how mixing works and how one size does not fit all when it comes to mixing. However, the reason you want a good DAW is that you can just have a platform to record your ideas and combine different sounds of them together, from your vocal to a beat you ripped off of YouTube. Combine it all together, record it, and share it. Even DAWs fit on your phone right now. You know, you can have multi-tracking on one phone right now. Record. There are audio interfaces for mobile and all that stuff, and I think it's very important to understand that. So that's why you need one, because yeah, you can make a beat on the MPC, and this kind of has a DAW in it already, but not full-fledged. But if you want to multi-track in it, you can, but it's not as seamless of an experience as if you worked with other platforms that I mentioned. But that, at the end of the day, that's why you'll want one. And there are some that cost, there are some that are free, there are some that are subscription based. My personal favorite is Studio One. Let me know in the comments below what's your favorite DAW if you ever used one before. All of them come with their own plugins, and this is a digital version of what I would say is a sound processor. So plugins enables the DAW to work beyond its original design. Well, how can I explain that? Well, the best way for me to talk about that is to talk about some of this rack gear I got back here. So this is a compressor. This is the LA610, and this is what I record vocals with. And this provides compression, provides a little bit of EQ to clean up the sound, so that when I try to mix them with beats and other background vocals, they all combine together to create a more consistent result, which makes it more pleasing to the ear, makes it sound more professional, makes it sound good, all that stuff. And what plugins do is they take the capabilities of what this physical device does and puts it in the digital realm, in the digital audio workstation, so that you can process them on there. So it's easy to copy and paste 10 of these, but unless you got deep pockets, you're only going to have one of these right there unless you want to buy 10 of them. But a lot of mixers, physical mixers, come with compressors in them, or they have a way to hook up into compressors like this. This is like a effects processor right here, and there's probably a plugin that does something like what this does. Plugins are like, let me give you an example with a plugin like a reverb plugin or auto-tune. You know, that's probably one of the most popular plugins you have out there. You can use auto-tune to correct your voices and make them sound pitch correct or make them sound like robots. However, you do need to have them in a digital audio workstation. However, so you're going to auto-tune 12 background vocals without a good processor and a good DAW to handle all that processing at the same time. And so all of them come with their own plugins. You know, all these platforms have their own flavors. What I notice a lot of these companies doing now is that they're emulating the classic hardware devices, because a lot of the classical hardware devices, they still work and they work very well. They sound very well, but the problem is that they're very expensive. So the hobbyist or the regular consumer probably doesn't have the budget to purchase that. Of course, they can save up and buy it, but it's not really that necessary at this point, especially if they're on the come up or creating demos or anything like that. So that's why it's important there. Now, another thing to consider is that all of these DAWs, digital audio workstations, all of them, what they do is they just combine different elements. So you might see a synthesizer here, or a rack mount module there, or a drum machine back there, or MPC there. They all provide a place for you to combine your separate sounds to help you get that idea and make it in physical or audible or listenable form. And that's the important thing to remember right there. So my favorite is Studio One because of how it works. Let me know in the comments below, what's your favorite DAW and why? Or does this video help you understand why you need to acquire one? And if you do, which one are you going to choose? There are a lot of digital audio workstations out there. Once again, my personal favorite is Studio One. But there are free ones. Like, if you really want to get your hands wet on some free ones, I know FL Studios are free DAW because they offer it to you for free, and it does multi-tracking on there. And so if you like this type of content and you want us to go further into how digital audio stations work, or DAWs work, DAW is another way people say it, let me know in the comments below and we can go deeper into that. But this video explains why they're all the same, because let me tell you this, at the end of the day, all of them provide multiple inputs. All of them combine different sounds. All of them run different plugins. All of them provide platforms and multi-tracking to create an environment to where you can combine different sounds. All of them do that across the board. If they don't do that, they're not really a full DAW. Of course, in this field, it's extremely subjective. And, you know, for one person's answer, another person can easily disagree. But in my opinion, they're all the same. And I think it's more important not necessarily to learn how one works, but learn why it works and how you can apply it to different things. So that's something to keep in mind. All right. I'm Dilio. You're watching the Dilio TGK YouTube channel. I'm Dilio. Like, comment, subscribe. See you later.